You know what's really sad? And unironically, I want you guys to think about this and realize the type of times that we live in. There's two ways for a politician to reach the public. And none of these ways involve them having an interesting debate with the opposition or proposing innovative solutions for the problems that we're facing, such as the economy or inflation. No, the ways that a politician manages to become successful is either through having connections with impressive PR companies, and this costs a lot of money and it requires the networking to be able to connect with these companies. And they will start encouraging people in the media to write puff pieces about you, and you're basically going to be using money in order to reach the public. So that is like the first way that a politician manages to reach people. And usually it seems plastic, it seems bland. They will have like the same talking points that work. It's based on dataism rather than heart and soul. Basically, like what the data shows. It's like people want you to talk about this, so here's the platitudes that you need to say in order to get famous. So this is like one way that you can be successful as a politician. The other way is to become a clown, is to do things that are demeaning. We used to have a saying of this on the internet. It was attention whoring. Feminists said that this is misogynismus, but I don't think it is, because it was never something that targeted women specifically. It was basically the concept that you are doing something which is demeaning to yourself. It's clownish, but you're doing it in order to attract attention. And in this case, like what this gentleman did definitely attracted attention, because everyone on social media is talking about him. I mean, literally no one knew who he was outside of Poland yesterday. But now everyone knows him. Like, his face is plastered on every hashtag. Every news media is talking about him, from The Times to The Guardian. Everyone, and they're saying the exact same things. That they're saying how evil he is. And I found it interesting that none of the media manages to point this out. When the videos first came, people didn't know his political affiliation. In fact, this thing happened, I believe, yesterday, like right before I went to bed. And most of the people that were sharing this, they were saying that he must be a left-leaning person. It's like, oh, well, Poland, you get what you voted for. And I was thinking, like, I mean, it's possible, right? Because when you look at what the left is doing in the United States, there's a lot of anti-Semitism on universities, and it's coming from left-leaning professors. And when those left-leaning professors who are in favor of safe spaces, and they're in favor of controlled speech, and making sure you don't say things that offend others, and you punish microaggressions, yeah, those same professors now are in lockstep with the anti-Semites, and they're saying, like, no, you're not going to fire them, because we believe in free speech and free expression, right? So all of a sudden, they believe in free speech and free expression. So due to the culture that we're in, right, like due to the nature of politics, and when you look at polls, and you see how members of the Democratic Party are leading after the conflict of the Middle East, and how they're supporting the universities that many of them got indoctrinated under. And I say indoctrinated because the role of some universities isn't to get people to problem solve and to figure out how to think for themselves, but is literally just telling them what to think. And they have like this ideology where they say, well, capitalist nations are evil, and the cisgender heteronormative patriarchy, and blah, blah, blah. So it's no wonder that they're like this. And when you get, this type of event, like, what can I say? It is a product of our time. First of all, a politician making a clown of himself. This is something that's very popular right now. Again, if you don't have the connections, if you don't have the money to do it properly, you can pull an AOC, and you can go in front of a parking lot and start crying. Or you can go to some protest and pretend that you're getting arrested. Or you can say that a member of the parliament is the Hasashin and he's trying to get you. Like, sure, like what he does is way over that. Like, he is definitely being more of a clown than I think AOC ever tried to be. But it is a tactic. It is a tactic that is acceptable because it's being shared. And it's being shared by the Times, it's being shared by the Guardian, it's being shared by the BBC. It's trending on social media, right? Like despite what you want to say, it's shocking people, but it's shocking them not in a manner that causes like, oh God, like this guy, he's an enemy. No, it's shocking them like, look at this idiot. And I gotta say, like I looked into his politics because they say he is far right. And that doesn't tell me much, because Nigel Farage is far right and Nigel Farage doesn't do this. According to the media, of course. It doesn't tell me anything about his economics. It doesn't tell me anything about what he believes about the separations of power in the state. Doesn't tell me what he believes about the Polish constitution. Like, I genuinely don't know anything about this man. Other than that, he is far right. And it's like, you might as well tell me he's a politician. And leave it as that. It's like, okay. So I looked a little bit into him, and apparently he is anti-EU, he is anti-interventionalism, like those are his policies. And I'm thinking, man, if I was the European Union, I would fund people like this guy. Like, unironically, it's called black propaganda. Like, there's a tactic that the Soviets have perfected it. The idea is that you either allow for the clowns to exist, or you actually fund them. And then when someone talks about leaving the EU in Poland or has anti-EU sentiments, you say, oh, so you're like that guy. You're like that clown. Oh, I see. So you're anti-EU. It means that you're the type of guy that would pick up a fire extinguisher in order to pull out a Hanukkah candle, right? It's a very effective tactic. And it has been done with huge success, especially in the American politics. And it has been done with huge success in other countries. In Britain, especially. Yeah, you basically allow the clowns to flourish, right? You crack down on the centrists and the reasonable people that actually make arguments and try to make a convincing point while wearing a suit. You crack down, you censor, and you suppress those. And you amplify the ones that are willing to pull stuff like this, which looks embarrassing and ridiculous for the average voter. Like, even if you have, like, some people on the internet which like this, you do have to understand that your mother probably doesn't. So, and your mother gets to vote, right? She has friends, and they don't like it either. In other words, the average voter doesn't appreciate this type of behavior. And, if you're anti-EU, then this guy is actually detrimental to your cause rather than furthering it. But that's my opinion on it. So this is why I think he did it. Right, I think he did it in order to gain publicity, and he got it. I do think that you're going to get a lot of concern trolling, and I wouldn't be surprised if the current establishment in Poland is going to right now try to pass some draconian laws that they were willing to pass anyway, like something to do with censorship, cracking down anti-Semitism online. And they're going to say, well, look how bad it's getting. Look how evil it is, right? And they're going to use this guy as an example. And try to pass legislation which further restricts people's rights. This is my prediction for next year, by the way. Hopefully I'm wrong, Hopefully Mr. Tusk isn't going to do anything like that, but who knows? I'm genuinely curious to see if I was right or not, because usually my predictions, unfortunately, end up being true, which is probably why you guys watch this channel. So let me know what you guys think, and if you like it, don't forget to subscribe, and there's also a link to Subscribestar down below. If you'd like to help out with some money in the tip jar, I would be very much grateful, and I will give you the best buyer's remorse on the internet. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys there. Take care.